Dear students, in the last class we discussed the types of constructor. So and yesterday I have given some examples. So one I have to solve. So that is 1 minus 2 plus 3 minus 4 plus 5 minus 6 plus up to n. So we have to find out the series of this. So one thing we have to remember is see here 1, 3, 5 and next is 7. 1, 3, 5, 7 and the next number is 9. So these numbers are odd numbers and these numbers are positive sign. And here 2, 4, 6, 8 are the even numbers and it is negative numbers. Okay. So here sum of series means in one variable we will add all the values and you can find out the sum. Okay. So first is class sample. So it consists of one input, that is int of n. So for one variable, that is I and s. So in the public section, so I can define constructor, that is the sample int of a. N is equal to a, s is equal to 0. So I will have to initialize s is equal to 0 means, so initially sum is equal to 0. So if you want to add this s to other value means you will get that value only. So that's why s is equal to 0. Next, so void compute for I is equal to start with 1, I is less than or equal to n, I plus plus. So then how to find out even or odd? The number which is divisible by 2 and the remainder must be 0. Those numbers are called as even numbers. So that's why, so if I mod 2 is equal to 0, if it is true, s is equal to s plus I. See here if the condition is satisfied means by default it is a even number. See here, even number sign is negative. That's why s minus of I. Else s is equal to s plus of I. And finally, so you have to print C out of. Next, you can write void main sample s in the bracket of 5 s dot. See here, sample s in the bracket of 5 means it will call the parameter as a constructor and 5 is stored in A. So here A value is 5. Next 5 is assigned to n. So here n value is 5. Initially s value is 0. Next s dot compute means it will call the compute function. So I is equal to 1. I can initialize. Why I have to initialize I is equal to 1 means in the given series, so the first number starts with 1. So that's why I is equal to 1. This process will repeat up to n times, that is n value is 5. 1 is less than or equal to 5. Condition is true. See here, 1 mod 2. If the numerator is less than the denominator, so we will get the remainder value as numerator. That is 1 is equal to 0. False. False means s plus I. Initially s value is 0, I value is 1, 0 plus 1 is 1, it is stored in 1. Yes. Next, again loop will continue. So I become 2. Initially I value is 1, I plus plus means I become 2. 2 is less than or equal to 5. Again condition is true. See here, 2 mod 2. Answer is 0. 0 is equal to 0. Condition is true. Here s value is 1. Updated s value. Minus I value is 2. 1 minus 2. So see the series. 1 minus 2 is minus 1. Minus 1 is stored in yes. Next again loop will continue. I become 3. 3 is less than or equal to 5. Again condition is true. 3 mod 2, 1. 1 is equal to 0. False. Here s value is minus 1 plus 3. That is plus 2. S value is 2. Next I plus plus, I become 4. 4 is less than or equal to 5. Again condition is true. Again this condition is also true. S value is 2 minus 4, that is minus 2. Next I plus plus, I become 5. 5 is less than or equal to 5. Again condition is true. This condition become false. Here S value is minus 2, I value is 5. That is 3. When the I value becomes 6, 6 is less than or equal to 5, condition become false, it will print the result as 3. Okay, so this is the method of writing the series program. Simple, first you can write the for loop and observe the series first. We can separate even numbers and odd numbers, and don't write the different sum for even numbers as well as odd numbers. So it is not a program for even sum and odd sum. So simply they have to given one series. Okay, so just we can compute that series and finally we will get only the one answer. That's why, so in the if condition as well as else condition we have to use only one variable. In the if it is even number, if the even number is satisfied, you can subtract from yes. If it is odd number means we can add to I. Okay, so this is the program. The next topic is constructor overload. So we already studied the function overloading. So function overloading means two or more functions having same name but differ in the number of arguments or differ in the number of arguments or change in the data type of the argument. So just once again revise. See here add function is there, here also add function is there. If you want to apply the function overloading means minimum it consists of two functions and here the arguments are two, here also same. The arguments are same means change in the data type of the argument. So this is the function overload, valid function overloading. Here we already know the constructor. Means again it is a special type of member function. Its name is same as that of the class name. Overloading means we already know the overloading. Overloading means the single object have performed the different task, or it is nothing but the polymorphism. That is ability to process more than one form. Using the same concept you can perform the different number of tasks, that is nothing but overloading. So here constructor overloading means more than one constructor can be defined in a program. For example, there are three types of constructors are there, that is zero or default constructor, and second one is parameterized constructor, third one is copy constructor. Okay. Example. See here, if you define more than one constructor in class sample See here. So this is the example for constructor overloading. So it consists of one default constructor and one parameterized constructor. The execution starts from main function. Here sample of S means it will call the default constructor. Then is assigned to A. S dot display means it will call the display and it will print the result as 10. See here, sample are in the bracket of 10 means again it is also a constructor, but this constructor will call the parameterized constructor, that is 10 is stored in X, or you can take 20 is stored in X and X is assigned to A. R dot display means it will print the result as 20. See here function name or constructor name is same. It consists of 0 arguments, it consists of 1 argument. So constructor overloading means more than one constructor can be defined in a class. But don't write 2 times default constructor. It is possible to write the more than one time parameterized constructor with a different argument, but it is not possible to define more than one time in a program, that is default constructor. Okay, because the default means you cannot pass the value. So here first I can write sample in the, again don't write sample, it is not a valid. It will generate an error message to the user. Okay, so this is the example for default constructor overloading. And you can solve, you can solve any number of examples. At least you can solve 2 to 3 examples, then you will get some idea about constructor overloading. So in this chapter you will get 5 marks, 1 question definitely. And in constructor and destructor only 3 to 4 topics are there. So that is what is constructor and types of constructor, and constructor overloading, destructor and function, that is invoking the parameterized constructor. It will come in the next class, in the next topic. Okay, so this is the constructor overloading. Okay, so just I will solve another example. See here, sum of 2 integer and sum of 2 decimal values using constructor overloading. So just I can declare one storage variable, that is int of C, and another one is float of D. Okay. In the public section, so I can write a sample in the bracket of int of x comma int of y. See here, C is equal to x plus y, C out. So no need to initialize. Suppose if you want to initialize means again the number of functions become more. So otherwise you can use that and you will get some idea. See here, A comma, A is equal to x, B is equal to y sum, C is equal to A plus B, C out of C. Next I can define another constructor. Sample float x comma float y. B, here also you can mention P comma Q. Again you can write one more function, that is void compute D is equal to P plus Q, C out of. Okay. Next you can close the class. Void main. Sample S in the bracket of 10 comma 20. So S dot. Next sample R in the bracket of 5.5 comma 3.5, R dot compute. See here, the execution starts from main function sample s in the bracket of 10 comma 20. So obviously it will call this constructor because the second constructor is parameterized, but it is consist of floating point values. So that's why 10 is stored in x and 20 is stored in y. Finally, so a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20, and s dot sum means it will compute and it will display. In the same way, sample of r means it will call this constructor and values are assigned. Finally, it will print. Okay. So if you write like this, again two functions are extra. If you minimize this program, means just you can remove sum and compute. Okay. So don't use a comma b. So directly int of c means here int of x comma int of y is there. So directly you can define c is equal to x plus y, and finally you have to print c out of c. In the same way this constructor, and don't write void sum and void compute. Okay, but in the examination directly they will ask, so what is constructor overloading? Illustrate with example. Okay, so you can write any example. In the previous examples, if you want, you can write that one. Otherwise, you can write this one. This one is also correct, and if you don't use the sum and compute means again also it is correct. Okay. There are so many examples to write the constructor overloading. At least 2 to 3 examples you can try your own. Then you will get the complete idea. So how to write the constructor overloading program. Almost it is similar to the function overloading. In the function overloading, so you have to mention the return type, that is void sum in the bracket of int of a comma b, void sum in the bracket of float of x comma float of b, like that. But here there is no return type. See here, only class name in the bracket of variables. Okay, and one more thing is, don't write like this int of x comma y. If it is argument, means each argument must be declared with the data type. Declared with the data type. Don't write like this int of x comma y. So it is only for this private section, that is the data members, not the argument values. Okay. Suppose if you want to write the constructor overloading for largest of 2 numbers, okay, and don't initialize. So simply you have to define 2 constructors, that is if x is greater than y. So within this constructor only you have to print the values, that is c out x is large, else c out y is large. So this is one constructor. In the same way, so you have to write here, and don't write void compute void sum. Simply you have to define 2 constructors, that is sample of s in the bracket of 10 comma 20 and sample of r in the bracket of the 3.5.5 comma 3.5. Okay, so this is the another example for constructor overloading. Okay, so you can write any examples. So in the next class we will discuss the destructor and function call. So how to call the parameterized constructor. Again it consists of some invoking the function call techniques. Okay, so we will discuss in the next class. Thank you.